Good morning to the big, beautiful world here at Montclair State University. We are 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the Morning Buzz. We have a great show lined up for you guys today. We're going to talk about President Biden's Build Back Better plan, the Montclair Film Festival, and we'll be interviewing Dr. McKinley on social media's effect on the COVID vaccine. So how are you guys today?
I'm doing great, but didn't we already interview Dr. McKinley last week?
Did we?
I think that's just a little flub up from last week, but I'm doing great. Trent, how are you?
Excellent. Couldn't ask for a better sunrise to wake up to.
Oh, you actually saw the sunrise?
Slightly. As a commuter, you get a little bit more of the of the journey. From your bed to the station.
Wow.
Rather than the shorter, more preferable walk from a dorm, but
you don't get to see the family of deer though.
I agree. As a commuter, on my way to the station today, I did see a cat when I was driving over here.
Nice.
It was a very nice view, and it made my day. So,
nice.
Allie, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. Morning buzz is the best way to wake up Monday morning, and I'm happy to get the week going. Awesome. So I'm ready to go.
Oh, so you're really excited.
All right, we're all ready to go. So, Allie, you want to go into our newscast for today?
Sure. So, first up, in international news, a strong earthquake hits the Greek island of Crete, killing one person and injuring at least 9 others. AP News reports that the preliminary magnitude of the earthquake was at least 5.8, and that at least 9 aftershocks also struck the area, with magnitudes ranging up to 4.6 for the strongest of just the aftershocks. Next up in national news, 4 teenagers have been charged with a plot of attacking their school on the anniversary of Columbine. Dunmore High School students plotted to attack a Pennsylvania high school in 2024 on the 25th anniversary of the massacre at Colorado's Columbine High School. CNN reports that a Molotov cocktail, components for bombs, and instructions on how to make bombs were found at one of the teenagers' homes. 2 of the teenagers faced charges as adults, while the others faced juvenile charges. And now in local news, a Montclair resident says that $91,000 worth of jewelry is missing from her home. Patch.com reports that officers spoke to the resident, who has had numerous people in her home over the past couple of days due to moving. She said that one of the pieces of jewelry that was missing was a Cartier Trinity diamond white, yellow, and rose gold ring that was valued at around $30,000. And now time for an update on the weather. In Montclair, New Jersey, it is currently 60 degrees with a high of 80 and a low of 60 degrees. It is going to be sunny all day today, and the air quality today is at 25, which is considered satisfactory, and air pollution poses little to no risk today. So it's going to be a beautiful day outside as well.
Thank you, Allie, for the good weather news. I'm very excited about the good weather for today. Hopefully I don't sweat, but we're going to move over to the sportscast for today by Trent. Trent, go right ahead.
Thanks, Patrina. For New York City football, we saw more of the same yesterday, as the Giants and Jets both fall to 0-3. For the Giants, this is the 2nd straight year with that record, and 3 straight years for the Jets through week 3. Saquon Barkley scored a touchdown yesterday for the first time in 637 days. That's a crazy stat. It was a welcome sight, but not enough, as the Giants fell on another game-winning field goal to the Falcons 17-14 at home. The Jets were shut out by the Denver Broncos this week, losing that game 26-0 in Mile High. Jets and Giants fans alike look towards week 4 for the first W of the season. In school news, the Montclair State football team got their first win of the season on Saturday against WPI, winning that one 31-10. Redhawks look to continue this success as they take on Salisbury this Saturday at Sprague Field. Fun fact, you can read a eloquently written article on that game on the Montclarian, written by the person speaking now. Anyway, for Mike, the Eagles play the Cowboys tonight.
Woo. That's all I ever wanted.
I'm unsure as to who I'm pulling for, to be honest with you.
You want to pull for the Eagles while you're standing in front of me.
It's just like, I kind of enjoy the fact that no one's repeat the division. And as much as I hate the Cowboys, I don't know if I'm willing to give it to the Eagles
I
yet.
thought we were friends, Trent.
We can be, but division
No,
games
we
get
can't.
messy,
No.
you know.
It's green and gray or nothing.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for the sportscast, Trent. Now we're gonna move on to our first story of the day, and it's gonna be told by my very own co-host, Mike Foley. So, Mike,
That'd be me.
go ahead.
Well, first story of the day: Nancy Pelosi vows to pass a $1 trillion bill, move ahead on larger measure. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Sunday vowed that Democrats will pass in an infrastructure bill this week and go further than the $3.5 trillion social safety net and climate change bill, that while acknowledging the amount that will drop. So the bill's money from 3.5 will drop. According to the White House official, Biden spoke with lawmakers over the weekend on the path forward. Extensive work was being done behind the scenes to shore up support. When asked Sunday if Pelosi had the votes to pass the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, Biden reporters at the White House, quote, "It's going to take the better part of a week. Still in a delicate balancing act at achieving the near democratic unity needed to push the sprawling package through, Pelosi made clear that Biden's proposed $3.5 trillion spending for social spending, my mistake, and climate incentives will need to be trimmed."
Thank you, Mike.
Sure.
For that.
It was a newscast.
Yeah, you're right. What do you guys feel about this?
Do you guys ever think, for me, like $1 trillion is just like an inconceivable amount of money? I can't even begin to wrap my mind around how much money that actually, like,
That actually is. I
that's
know.
just an unbelievable quantity.
Yeah, it's very crazy how like we can literally just get to that amount, and I feel like in the future it's just gonna build up to even more, and it's like, how do we even get there?
Taxes, I would assume. I mean, so from what I know about the bill, which is not very much, so I'm not going to comment extensively on it, is that it's supposed to help us in the long term. But what I have a problem believing is what I like about it is that Pelosi agrees that $3.5 trillion is a lot of money to ask for. So $1 trillion doesn't seem that bad. But in the end, it's still $1 trillion I would like to have, or at least some of it, to pay for my college.
So if I understand correctly, this is going towards climate change.
It's going to climate change, I think, helping like lower income.
To
my understanding, I'm not 100% confirmed on that.
At least it's like saving the earth.
Yeah,
which is all we.
That is very important. I would like to stay here. I feel like this is a nice planet.
Yeah.
And we got some cool things. Like we have a family of deer on campus. I don't want to see them go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's actually like kind of important. I think like, yeah, like it's $1 trillion, but like if you think about it, the amount of damage we have had from climate change recently, like I don't think $1 trillion is a lot. And I think it's good that we're getting that $1 trillion like to put toward climate change incentives.
Oh, for
to
sure.
help us. Yeah.
Yeah, what were you saying, Mike?
I just said yep.
Oh, no, like you're absolutely right. Like I feel like in a way, like obviously $3.5 trillion sounds like an insane amount of money, but when you're talking about climate change, we have so much to do. Like you said, like, you know, there's so much we could do, and we could use more money with like, you know.
And very much like we're running out of time as well. This is very much a
it's only 7:10.
There's a countdown timer for this issue, unlike some others where it's just like, yeah, we'll get to it. We've like our predecessors have done that for too long, and now it's like our generation has to deal with that. So
yeah,
let's fix this thing, guys.
Yeah, let's not make it get any worse, you know.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on to our next story for today. Liz Cheney, I was wrong in opposing gay marriage in the past. Representative Liz Cheney.
Okay.
Lil, okay.
Her SoundCloud rapper name, everybody.
Lil Cheney.
All right. Liz Cheney says that she was wrong to oppose gay marriage in the past, a stand that once split her family. Cheney also told CBS News that she views her re-election campaign as the most important House race in the nation, as forces aligned with the former president trying to unseat her. In the interview aired on Sunday night, Cheney said that she had little affection for President Joe Biden, who she believes has embraced harmful policies for the economy and national security with the Afghanistan withdrawal. Liz Cheney famously broke her family in 2013, opposing gay marriage ahead of a failed Senate bid. Her objections caused a rift with her sister, Mary, a married lesbian. Mary's spouse, Heather Poe, posted on Facebook that Cheney's position was offensive and that I always thought freedom meant freedom for everyone. End of quote. In the interview, Cheney said her opposition to gay marriage was misguided, and she channeled her sister-in-law's Facebook post in explaining why she changed her position. While still opposed to gun control, abortion, and the Affordable Care Act, the Wyoming Congresswoman finds herself on the outs for voting to impeach Trump after his January 6th rally. What I wanted to say and what I wanted to point out is her, what was it? Her
Sister.
Yeah, her sister is a lesbian. I found that very ironic.
Yeah, that's sort of the whole irony of it.
All right, Mike.
I'm just saying, like.
So if I understand this correctly, now that she's running for president, she's like
Attempting to. So,
well, now that she's attempting to. I'm not sure how the whole process works.
well, the first they gotta to give it shortly. First, they need to have their party's approval, then they can run behind what their party's backing.
So now that she's like, I'll give it a go. She's like, now people have rights. Do I have that right?
She's just yes. That's what she is. She has changed her mind.
Because of her
Interesting.
sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is believed to be her sister's spouse, I believe. Her sister's partner.
Yeah, her sister's wife now, right?
Wife, right.
Okay.
Just seems a little convenient, the timing of it all.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Take your tinfoil hat off, dude. It's too early for this.
It's
Too early for the tinfoil hat.
A little, you know.
It's a little sus. I understand that, but it's too early to be theorizing right now.
Yeah. What about your view, Allie? What do you think?
I think that, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to like pick a view on this because like I want to be like, oh, like if it took her this long to accept her sister, like I kind of like, I don't know if she's kind of actually making changes to her like views and morals. However, people can change, and this woman might have genuinely just changed her, might have educated herself, might have gone out, might have talked to her sister more. So it is kind of hard to pick a position, but I do agree with Mike. It is a little bit sketch because she is running for president soon.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you and Mike, and I think that it is like the timing. Well, like look at that,
The timing would have been better at like a different time.
Oh, yeah, would you look at that
for the situation? Well, it would have been better at a different time, yes. But what I mean is like another year, like not this year, like a year before or something like that.
Right. No, it was just the timing.
Yeah.
It's just the timing. Yep. But you know what? It is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say. What about you, Mike? You look like you always have a lot to say, but
I tend to. However, I think anyone should do whatever they want. I think that's the purpose of life. Do whatever you please. So I think it's just a very, kind of nice little ironic twist that she's changed her mind all of a sudden because she wants to try and get the votes to run for president. That's all I'll say.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Uh-huh.
So right now we're going to go on a short break. So we will be right back. So stay tuned for more stories. on the Morning Buzz, 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to get going with our newer stories. So, Mike, why don't you get started with our next story for today?
I'd be more than happy to. New Jersey reports 1,258 COVID cases, 5 confirmed deaths, and the rate of transmission ticks downward. On Sunday, New Jersey reported over 1,200 new confirmed COVID cases and 5 more confirmed deaths as the positive rate of new tests continued to drop and hospitalizations level off. The Garden State 7-day average for newly confirmed positive tests is 1,796, which is down 5% from a week ago and up 2.8% from this time last month. New Jersey statewide rate of transmission was 1.03 on Sunday, down from 1.04 on Saturday and 1.05 the previous 2 days. Any rate of transmission number over 1 indicates that the new case is leading to more than one additional case and shows the state's outbreak is expanding. School districts in the state have reported 23 in-school outbreaks for a total of 102 new cases. According to the state's dashboard, school board, you mean? I assume it's whatever. In-school outbreaks are defined as 3 or more cases that are determined through contact tracing to have been transmitted between staff or students while at school. Positivity rate conducted on Wednesday, the most recent day available, was 4.33%. The positivity rate on the weekends tends to be higher when the fewer tests are conducted. More than 5.8 million people who live, work, and or study in New Jersey have been fully vaccinated as of Sunday. More than 6.37 million people have received at least one dose.
Thank you, Mike.
Sure.
So
that's a lot of numbers.
Here's my theory.
You have a theory.
It's great that to start off, like we're down 5% of confirmed positive cases from last week, which is I think is a huge amount in a way, from a week rather than like a month. But what I want to say is that I think once the weather gets colder, it's not gonna look too good, in my opinion, just because the months through of like maybe late October to like December, January is like when everybody gets the cold, everyone gets sick. So I think that it's going to spread a lot more. And I hate to say it, but I hope to God that we don't go back to Zoom, like where we started off, because that was absolutely horrifying.
I had a lot more time for video games when we were on Zoom, much less responsibility. So
that's also true.
It wouldn't be great, but could find some good out of that. Could watch some more, catch up on my TV shows and movies and the like. Finally catch up on the MCU.
Yeah. You're right. It's got its pros and cons.
I think
oh yeah.
You go.
You go. You're the one who was talking before me.
I was going to say, I think it's kind of interesting how we're just kind of getting so used to being locked up in quarantine. Like we're just over here like, oh yeah, like no big deal. We'll just play more video games. That's kind of scary. Like we're just like so casually getting ready to go back into another lockdown because of how bad COVID's getting again. Well, it's not getting bad again, but like the fact that like numbers are still kind of up while vaccines are being pushed out is kind of just like concerning, because the possibility of another lockdown is real. And the fact that we all are just taking it so casually, I think it's just not funny, but like it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, you're right. And like, I just, even though like Trent said, like we had like, more free time, we had more things to get done and all that, no responsibility, whatever. But you want to know what? I like living in the real world, the non-online world.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was nice to be like, in for a while, but like I really don't want it to get back to the point where it's like people are getting sick and
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants people getting sick anytime soon. I do agree with Trent. I wish I did have more free time to play some video games, but I do like the real world. I like going to class, being able to touch things instead of trying to do it online and learn it
Right.
not as
Hands-on.
well. It's just it's a wins and losses situation, but there's a lot more to lose. So I'd rather we keep it down. I know I do agree with you though. Winter will be a testing of the
Yeah.
months.
It's gonna be a rough one.
Oh yeah.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that, with like also flu season, I think it's just going to be a mess here. I think here's my prediction. I think that there's going to be a lot of online classes. A lot of classes will move to online. I know that a lot of professors are probably not going to feel comfortable in like a room with all of these students and being infected and stuff. I just hope not all of my classes would move to online. I am expecting maybe one or two to move online. I don't know about you guys.
I'm hoping they don't. I wouldn't be upset if they did. I would be upset if they did, but I'd deal with it. But I'm hoping they stay in person. I mean, at least like because I'm a TV production major, we go in and we like use all these like cameras and equipment in person, and that was kind of hard to do online. I know I struggled a little bit during online school, and being back in person has helped a lot. So I'm hoping our classes stay in person.
Yeah, that's definitely also for the people who do struggle online. Like it's hard for them as well. It's gonna. I just want to see it progress from here for sure. I mean, like everybody else does before Mike calls me out and says the obvious, but
You mean like always?
yeah, that's exactly what I meant. But we're gonna move on to the next story for today. So, Montclair officials, we need details to advance $60 million school plans. So, a plan to bond for $60 million to update Montclair public school facilities remains on hold, while the body responsible for officially setting the amount to be raised waits on documentation from the school district. That started the process moving forward to send the matter to Montclair's Board of School Estimate to formally fix and determine the cost of the projects. After that, the Township Council would adopt a bond ordinance. Montclair currently has what's known a Type I school district, where the mayor appoints school board members and the Board of School Estimate sets the tax rate and budget. The Board of School Estimate, composed of members of the school board, council, and the superintendent, also approves the funding for capital improvements before sending it to the council. So
Neat.
yeah, neat.
Oh.
No, I think $60 million. Like, we tend to have very good conversation on money and how we think that it's so how like how we were saying how I think $3.5 trillion was so much, but also not enough. This is almost like the same thing. Like 60 now when we're comparing $60 million to $3.5 trillion, it's like a whole different ball game.
I think that our education system, there's no doubt that there are big flaws in it, and there's a lot that needs to be fixed just based on like how it was created and like the principles that they deem valuable. I think that like the arts are grossly ignored or not supported, and I think that most schools are underfunded as well, so for us to be pouring money back into our schools is, I think, a good thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like you said, like the arts definitely I feel should be recognized more. It's for a lot of schools, it's like sports are like so huge, which like, I understand that like sports could be a huge thing and a big deal. But like I think that it's important for, all of the what do you call it? Organizations, all of the organizations to be recognized. But
I mean, I do agree with Trent. I think there are holes in the education system. I mean, look at me. So, that's a pretty big flaw right there.
all right, Great, Mike. Thanks for the positivity here.
Self-deprecating humor is the only way to get through the day, Patrina.
Right. Sure. All right. Well, thanks, Mike, for leaving us on that kind of depressing note. So we're just gonna go on a short break. We'll be right back here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, where music stays cool. Cooler than a dog on a skateboard. Okay, I take that back, but we're still pretty cool.
90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
Every day across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a chance, a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it.
Allie,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on the story we just read? It was about the one teen who was the only one to get vaccinated.
I think that I think it's good. Good on him for stepping up. I think it was good for him for stepping up and getting the vaccine.
Yeah, especially since like a lot of people like didn't like I mean a lot of teens mostly just didn't get the vaccine, or I guess the ones that aren't getting the vaccine are the ones that, you know, obviously aren't there to get it, but the one teen that did, Raymond, you know, it is good that, you know, there are people out there that, you know, who did.
I mean, so if you ask me, I think it's great that he went and got vaccinated. I think that this is something that might need to be more focused on, is teens not getting the vaccine. That could be for a number of reasons, not just that their parents don't want them to do it, but maybe because they're what they believe in. You're allowed to believe whatever you want, but this vaccine shouldn't be an opinion. I feel like everyone should just, you know, for the safety of others more than the safety of themselves.
Yeah, just like do it, guys. It's not too shabby, you know. With my own experience, I had maybe like 3 minutes of crazy chills after the second one, and then it was over, and the 3 minutes in exchange for, you know, global safety, I think is I'm willing to give 3 minutes of my time for the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like I had a fever and I was like super tired, and you know, if you think about it, it's kind of like a resting day for you.